Well, it's been a while, and guess what? The game is still trash. It's still trash. Okay. Look, when I went into this, I said, hey, you know what? You're going to go in with a positive attitude. You are not going to try to nitpick it and find all the imperfections. And I was doing pretty good for a while. And then a group of people with hammers started running at me. And stupid me. I was like, hey, hammers are back. That's awesome because last time I played, it's just great axes everywhere. And then it clicked after I literally just spontaneously combusted by getting hit once with a hammer. Ah, there must be an exploit. Of course. Of course there's an exploit. Why else would everyone be running around with that weapon? But I was like, I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm still going to continue on this journey and try to find some positives. Now, let me say something. I don't hate the game. A lot of people will be like, why do you even play the game? The game, there's a lot of things in it that I enjoy. I like farming. I like those tedious tasks. I like accumulating stuff to craft better stuff, to get higher tier stuff. I like that progression. I love the building in Conan. And the PvP is something that I do enjoy, but it's not my most sought after thing. Just because I never know what I'm going to get. And when I come back after months of not playing, I'm getting thrown into it and I'm like, all right, what's the meta? What's going on? Everyone's trying to use these hammer exploits or these crystal chakrams that I guess you can get from a Twitch drop, which are ridiculously overpowered. And I'm like, okay, well, this is a pretty typical, nothing new there. But I was like, I want to test some of the PvE things in the game. Lots of different people watch my videos, so I wanted to make sure I touched on other opinions of the content. And one of the biggest things, I was trying to take advantage of the bar. You can get a lot of cool thralls, and I noticed they added cages like they had on Sipta all over Exiled Lands. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. We got a shield right out of one, like first 15 minutes in the game. I'm like, this ain't broken at all. But then I'm like trying to knock out a thrall at my bar, and it teleported. So I followed the bindings, and I found it there. And I'm like, okay, well, it says I'm attached to it. I'll just take it back. It doesn't let me put it in. What's the point of this bar? It's like if you don't pick up the thrall within a certain amount of time and put it in the gibbet, it just poofs, and there's nothing you can do about it. What the hell, Funcom? Of course, I did experiment with the event, and honestly, I don't know what you want me to say. It sucks. It sucks. I can't say anything good about it. Wow, I have to farm all these stupid horns of these oversized creatures that already existed with the same attacks I've already had to deal with for how many years? It's like there's nothing new here. Wow, a new recipe for some armor that's kind of broken, not really broken, but it's just a meta now, and it's like, why do they have to make the game so easy? It just feels so easy. Like, this is supposed to be an event. I'm naked. I should feel threatened right now. But instead, I have a buff that makes me hit like a god, and you just gave it extra health, and the attacks are so easy to dodge and predict that you're going to get hit maybe once or twice because you tried to do an extra combo you shouldn't have. There's nothing new here. So the PvE side of this content, to me personally, it's kind of boring. Like, if I'm just a PvE player, I want to play a game that's really going to pull me in. But if you love the building and farming like I do, I understand why you're here, and it's hard to let go. There's no other game like Conan with that kind of building. There's just a feel to it. I've played a lot of Rust. I've played a lot of Ark. There's just something about Conan building that is satisfying and very pleasing. And it's got that going for it. And they know that. They definitely do. But I noticed you could get stuck in your horse again. This was something I remember existing years ago. Like, I would say a couple of years ago, I remember this happening. It was happening to myself, my clanmates, my wife, my friend. Like, why was this happening? Why is it back? Why is it happening now? Is it because of lag? Is it a bug? I did it multiple times, and I was unintentionally doing it. But I remember this being an issue because people would literally replicate this, and then they'd go fight people. And then you kind of got like, I don't know, you got something with 10,000, 12,000 health. Back then, horses didn't have the HP that they have now, but still, that's more HP than your character has, and it makes your hitbox harder to hit. It's kind of funny. And it's like, how did this come back? How do these bugs come back? But of course, I had to dabble with some magic, and I was curious how my favorite thing, the bat. I love the bat. It helped me find sky bases. It helped me get to harder to reach locations where bases would be. But why'd they change the bat? Before, you used to be able to spam the spacebar and you could get up as pretty much as high as you could go. This was great for looking for sky bases. Yes, I know there are other methods, but this is one of my favorites. And they changed that. Like, why change that? Like, I don't even think the PvE community would want that change. Like, who's gonna be like, I don't like how you can smash the spacebar and go really high, really fast. Like, you need to change that, okay? Like, who would say that? Who would care? Yet again, Funcom giving us changes that we don't need and don't ask for. Why do they do that? I'll never understand that. But my friend, he said, you know, it's like they like to put a 0 somewhere, you know, to break something, you know? And like, see how long until they fix it, or how long until the community finds it and enjoys it. And then the fall damage. How did this happen? I didn't think this was real, and I tested it on official, and I'm like, wow, this is real. This is real on single player, official, private servers. The only one server that it didn't work on was a server that had plugins, and they actually balanced it. But this has made me extremely liberal with my play style. I'm going to regret it when it actually gets fixed, if it ever gets fixed, unless this is intentional. You let me know. If this is intentional, please tell me, because it makes no sense. But it has made PvP fun. Like, I will just chase you down. I'll jump off anything. As you can see, me falling that high with a bat barely did anything, you know? And then this. This was my real reason for trying to understand what goes through their head. How does this happen? How does a bearer 2 get that much health? Someone did this. This is intentional, you know, like this kind of coding, you know, it's like, I'm just gonna add another 0 right here. Is this a disgruntled employee? They're like, they never listened to me anyway, so I'm just gonna put this in. And this is another clip just for PvE purposes. It didn't attack me once. I literally just sat there and beat on this thing. That's Conan content. I didn't show how to do it, but there is a way to get unlimited legendaries. If you know, you know. But how do people figure this stuff out? How does this stuff even happen, Funcom? Yeah, see, you see what I'm saying? That whole positive attitude, the bugs just kept adding up. And the bugs always outweigh the positives. Like, water PvP also needs something, because the old way with stamina is I could cripple them and stuff, and my heavy attacks didn't drain so much stamina. Like, why did they change that? Like, why offer all these combos with weapons and then basically make the game, you know, unplayable, because you can't even do these combos unless you have tons of stamina or put the right attachment on a weapon in order to actually be able to access those combos? It's like, was that the PvP community? Because most of the time in PvP, you're not doing full-blown combos anyways. Sometimes, sure, but most of the time you're not, and you don't want to do that. But what a weird change. Like, as a person who just played for PvE purposes, trying to do combos on a boss, and it's like, you're lucky if you can get the whole combo off, and then guess what? You're out of stamina, and then it usually smacks you, kicks you, tail whips you, whatever you're fighting. But that's all I got for you. It's been a while, and I figured I would play the game, test it out, see how I felt about some things, and there's just some things I wanted to touch on. And I always have hope for Conan. You know, we were getting to a good place with Conan a few years ago. It was getting there. You know, it wasn't perfect. It'll never be perfect, but it felt good. You know, it was likable. And then they're like, we're going to change this. Nobody asked for this. We're going to change that. Nobody asked for that. I don't understand that thought process. I don't know. If they put in the bazaar, buy the old way, I mean, buy the old way. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why I'm even saying that. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Sorry. Um, it's a game, you know? Fuck you, Funcom.